Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me for my weekly inspiration. I wasn't able to do it like I typically do on a Monday because I wasn't feeling the greatest, so I had to do some I was called to do some self-care. And that is actually what I decided to have this video be about. And you might see another cute little face popping in and out. This is my delightful 7-year-old Nolan. He wanted to join me for this one, right, Nolan? So he will be with me and with us today. But I wanted to talk a bit about self-care. And I think that it's becoming a little bit more, people are more aware of what self-care is in this day and age. And I needed some of it yesterday, hence why I didn't do my video yesterday. And self-care for me is about honoring myself and listening to what I need. And it could be, like last night, an example would be that I needed to have a break from the family. I wasn't feeling the greatest, so I needed to have a bath and I needed to go to bed early. And I needed to honor that, even though I knew I had some things that I really was planning to do that day. One of these was an example of my weekly inspiration. Another was transferring files from one computer to another because I have a new computer now. But I decided to make the choice to honor myself and what I was needing in that moment. And that's what I decided to do. So each day for me, self-care is a bit about taking care of me. And as a mom or as a person who has children, like this delightful little guy, sometimes it can be a bit challenging to find space in your day or in your life to take care of yourself. We're often taking care of other people, little people or spouses or other people that are close to us. And it can be easy to get lost in that land of not really taking care of yourself. So self-care for people can look like taking, a time to meditate, to practice yoga or any other physical exercise. It can be even just simply choosing what you feel called to do in the moment rather than what everybody else expects you to do. So what your children expect you to do, or your spouse or your parents, or anything else. And sometimes those decisions can be hard because that may mean that you're letting somebody down, or the expectations that people have of you might not be meeting like what you're doing might not be meeting what they want you to be doing. But it's really a lot about honoring yourself. And children, and this one in particular, can be a really great teacher for that. They're really very good at voicing what they need and voicing what will serve them in the moments. And they're, they do it. And sometimes we don't want them to, and sometimes we don't like that. But it really is a great way for us to learn how to take better care of ourselves. And I know that when I take care of me, and I honored myself last night that I needed to go to bed at like 8 or 8:30, and I needed to have a nice warm detox bath, and I needed to do some reading. I actually did some reading in bed with this little one. That I know that I will heal more quickly, and I will come back into a state of wellness and health more quickly. I was starting to get something yesterday, the day before, and I'm feeling much better today. And I know that if I push through and if I did all the things that I was supposed to be doing and that I thought that I needed to do that day, that I probably would still be feeling really not so good today. And I do have still a bit of not feeling the greatest, but I am much better than I know I would have been if I didn't allow myself that like 10 to 12 hours sleep, which I never usually get. And, having that nice bath and some alone time was really helpful for me. And sleeping in this morning was helpful. I'm going to be starting a weekly meditation with a delightful lady starting tonight. So I'm really excited to go to that because I did miss my meditation this morning because I was sleeping in. So that for me also, that's a part of my self-care, is giving myself permission and allowing myself maybe 1 or 2 nights a week to do the things that serve me. So in this case, it'll be a weekly meditation for 4 weeks. Sometimes it's a yoga class. Sometimes it's simply going in to meet with a friend and chatting and telling stories and helping each other through whatever it is that we're going through in the moment, because it's always different from moment to moment and day to day. Cutie. And when we do that, especially as parents who have children, or even people who don't and they have other people looking up to them, that as I am taking care of myself, then I'm showing Nolan and Wade, my other little guy, that it's really important to take care of themselves, right? If I'm only taking care of everybody else, like them or my husband, or even my students, then, and I'm not taking care of me, that I'm putting myself aside, that I'm, second fiddle, or I'm just like not a priority, then I'm also teaching them that they're not a priority and that they need to be worried about or concerned with other people and what their priorities are and what their needs are. But in order for me to be a better mom and a better wife and just a better human, is that I need to take care of myself. Now, some people will call that selfish, but I've actually realigned that word for myself. So the word selfish is often held with negative connotation. But for me now, that word selfish, I kind of shifted it almost into like a self-love or self-care. Sure, some people can be selfish in more of a fear-based or negative way where they're self-serving and it's very at the detriment of others. But I think with selfish, from a loving perspective and coming from the heart, and the self-love and self-care space is about respecting yourself and really starting to notice and feel where you need some time to yourself to do whatever feels good for you, or to go out dancing when you want to go out dancing, or to go out on your own to just do the things that you love, that bring you joy and that fill your heart with love. And for many of us, that we're not really taught that. So it can be hard to integrate that into your life. We can sometimes feel guilt or shame, or that we've let people down if we're starting to take care of ourselves rather than to take care of others. And I think in order for us to take care of others fully and with our whole heart and our whole being, only really truly happens if we're taking good care of ourselves. So I'm just an invitation for you to take a look at, what does your self-care look like? Now, it can be something like having a bath. It could be even getting your nails done if that feels really delightful for you and brings you joy. It can be about dancing or being playful. And carving out some space in your life, telling your partner that you need some time, a day or an hour, and really doing what feels good for you and that will fill you up with joy and with love.
Almost time. It's almost over.
So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a most magical rest of your day, and maybe insert some beautiful, delightful self-care into your life today. Thank you for listening. Bye, everybody.
Let's make it a
namaste. Let's say namaste with me. Namaste. Thank you, guys.
Wait, no, not yet. How long was it?